you for that, Delilah. Welcome to everybody this evening. As always, I invite you to join me in closing your eyes let's just have the intention to shift the energy, to focus the energy, to kind of bring ourselves into a present moment. There are always lots of different ways to do this, and I'm shying away from a deep meditative way. But let's just take note of some of the breaths we are receiving. We'll be silent for just a few moments at your own pace. Just focus upon the breaths you are receiving, the exhales and the inhales. Intentions matter, so we're intending to just become more present, focusing on something physical, something on, in, about our body is always a fantastic way to become more present. And actually, that's what I would like to chat about this evening for this warm-up, is the connection between the mind and the body. Mind and body are connected. That's one of the 15 concepts that we work with. And so I was thinking earlier that it would be of use and value to chat this evening about ways for us in, as Delilah says, as I say, the nitty-gritty of our everyday lives, ways for us to enhance our awareness of and our understanding of this particular concept, mind and body are connected. Now, disclaimer, as always, I am not a medical anything. I am not a researcher. I am the spiritual workout guy who, when he was seeking, as it were, was introduced to a number of concepts, and mind and body are connected is one of them. So my approach, this approach, the spiritual workout approach, or an approach to this concept, is just that. It's an approach. It's a way to think about it. And what I want to share with you right now are a couple of experiences that I have in my practice that don't come up too very often here in our drop-ins or even our other clinics, though this material is always welcome. And specifically, I'm talking about work that I am doing and have done over the years with people who are dealing with very serious medical conditions, diagnoses, acute, chronic, all kinds of things, from cancer, stroke, brain tumor, that kind of stuff, to people dealing with a lot of physical or orthopedic stuff, a quote unquote bad back or bad knees or hips or shoulders and those kinds of things. So people who don't have a diagnosable disease necessarily, but live with chronic pain of various sorts. And so the basic idea here is there's whatever going on in the body, with the body, to the body, is what's going on. And yet we are conscious human beings. We are spiritual beings in these physical bodies. And what I see over and over and over again is, especially on the more serious end of these kinds of things, when people are seeing doctors regularly and getting tests regularly, is that the part that's left out all the time is, what is the mind doing with regard to any or all of this? And if in fact the mind and the body are connected, is the mind doing its part to facilitate the very healing that is being called for? For example, you go to a doctor, you have a test, you sit across from that doctor and you receive the results. Chances are pretty good in that moment, spiritual workout wise, you're creating a belief, or maybe even a set of beliefs about your condition. Maybe those beliefs serve you. Uh, you hear the result and you think, ah, that's good news. Fantastic. That's an example of a mind-body alignment, right? That's good news. That's neutral to positive. That's not going to get in the way of any healing. But the very next time, one might hear different kinds of news and form a belief on the spot, walking to the parking lot, driving home. I'm screwed. I'm never going to get better. I'm not healing. So again, beliefs matter. This is spiritual workout world. Beliefs matter all the time. It doesn't matter what the subject is. It always matters what our beliefs are. So the point of what I'm getting to here is that I love to use tapping on this particular subject with a lot of people in these situations. So imagine a group tapping class with people with all kinds of different medical situations, many or most of them, if not all of them, on what we would generally say the serious side of things. And we are addressing what people are thinking about what's happening to their bodies, what people are thinking about what's happening to their lives, to their families, to their uh, daily existences. And it is shocking to me that nowhere else are any of these issues being addressed with any of these people. So there we are, we're in a group class. There could be 5, there could be 15, there could be 25 people. And of course, just like you're used to, we'll start with one person's material, as it were, and everybody taps along. And I will tell you for certain that everybody in the room, and I know that most of you listening to this understand what I'm talking about, most people in the room just start feeling better no matter what. The worse things are in the body, the better you're going to feel when you do some tapping, even if it's not utterly, completely focused on your own material. For example, I had somebody in one such class. She was racked with physical pain and of a chronic nature, and had always, not always, but had been living with it for many, many, many years. And we were tapping on somebody else's material. I believe it was a cancer patient. And the person with the physical pain, the joint pain, and all of that, said at the end of, I don't know, however long we were tapping, she's like, oh my God, I feel virtually no pain in my body. This has not happened in 15 years. And that was just doing the tapping, but also talking about things associated with being quote unquote sick, or being disabled, or living a life suddenly because of a medical condition that's different than what we were expecting. So whatever the combination of that was, not even directed at her, provided her with a tremendous amount of relief in the moment. We say all the time in spiritual workout world, there's what happens and there's what we make it mean. So if you're dealing with something in the realm of what we're talking about, the question is, what are you making it mean? The mind and body are connected. If you're making it mean, this is fantastic, this is a growth opportunity, I'm going to sail right through this. I welcome this affliction. I welcome this condition. I welcome this circumstance. Well, that's fantastic. But if there's resistance, if there's fear, if there is sadness, if there's depression, if there's loneliness, if there's any of those things, and then we start to make meaning, like, I'll never be able to do ABC again. I'll never, my life is forever changed for the worse. I'll never really be happy again. Well, just like in any other circumstance, what the mind is thinking while dealing with and contending with whatever the condition is, it's no less important to address it here. Again, I like to do that with tapping, but in the meantime, between now and then, if you or anyone you know is in this circumstance and condition, at a minimum, start to think about what it is you're thinking about the condition, because that's what we do in spiritual workout world. mind and body are always connected, and it's a particularly important component that is almost always ignored. So, not to leave you on such a down note, I hope sincerely that, again, if you or someone you know is in this situation, that they find some way, maybe with a therapist or a friend or spiritual workout or whatever it might be, some way to address that part of us that has thoughts and ideas and feelings about whatever it is that's going on. So, with that, let's all take a nice collective, receive a couple of collective breaths together. And just sort of let your body process this information as well as your mind. One more deep one. Now let's come back. It's time to talk about what you want to talk about.